Hi, my name is Barry Sahazian, and on this lesson, I'm going to show you about chord extensions. Not necessarily how to create chord extensions, but to how to interpret them when you see them. Sometimes they can be very intimidating, a C minor major 7 with a 9, a C minor 7 flat 5. When you see these things, what do you do with them? That's what I'm going to show you what to do. There's an easy solution to deal with these and not necessarily understand the entire chord and all the extensions, but you can still play on them and be very effective. So here we go. So I have a list of some of the changes that you might encounter, and I'd like to break them down and show you what's going on. The first one is the most complicated, and I want to show you simply how you would negotiate this. C7 sus with a flat 9, a sharp 9, and a flat 13. What are you going to do with that? You're sitting there with your bass or your guitar or your horn, and how do I play that? What am I going to play? Now, how you interpret this is you start from the very beginning, and that will be the root, a C. You know you can play a C note. Okay, you can play a C with that. So we know we can play a C on the C7 sus, flat 9, sharp 9, and flat 13. One note is not enough. Let's add a note. So let's try and add a fifth. Now we can add a fifth here. We know that because the fifth is implied in the chord unless it is sharped or flatted, in which case it would be an augmented fifth or a diminished fifth. So over here we have a D flat augmented 7. Now that means this plus tells you that the fifth has to be sharped. And over here on this E minor 7 flat 5, this chord tells you the 5 has to be flatted. But on this one here, the complex one, there's no indication of what to do with the fifth, so it is implied that it is a natural fifth, a perfect fifth, and you can play a C and a G. That's what you can play on this chord, not knowing anything about the rest of the extensions. And maybe you don't care. Maybe you just want to play and make it work for you. So in terms of bass playing, you play the root and fifth. Who cares about the rest of the stuff? You don't have to know that. So what I'm trying to tell you is, if you have a chord like that put in front of you in one way or the other by a sheet music or someone telling you that's the chord, you use what you understand about the chord from the chord symbol. I mean, if you happen to be a sax player or a trumpet player and you approach that chord and you don't understand anything but the root and fifth, just play the root and fifth and wait till the next change comes around before you recognize more of the structure of the chord and you can play it on it. So you come and you go, and you're waiting for that next change where you know what's going on. Then you go home and you say, wait a minute, let me look at that C7 sharp 9 flat 9 with a sus chord. And let me think about that and work on it. And you learn as you go along and you expand on your vocabulary and your knowledge. But in the meantime, you want to sound correct all the time. If you sound correct, nobody knows what you don't know. They only know that you sound good. That's the idea. I know personally and other musicians, it takes a while to get to the point where you can negotiate all of these chord extensions. I could get into it and lose you in a minute, but I won't do that. I believe in the rule of KISS. That means keep it simple, stupid. And, that's how way you learn. You learn one little part at a time. And the beauty of learning it this way is you can add on to your knowledge and still play these. You just tell yourself, I don't know what those are. I don't care. I have to play something that makes it work. So you play the root and fifth. I'm going to move on now to the next chord on E minor 7 flat 5. All right, so we have the altered fifth there. So it is notated here that 5 is flatted. Okay, so now you know you have an E and a minor. The minor refers to the third. So you have a root and a flat 3. That's easy enough. If you've played, the minimal you can play is a triad. And by now, if you've looked at triads, you know the difference between major and minor, which is the third. So that will be a flat 3, and that will be a G, E, F, G. And now we have the flat 5. Now a 5 of E would be a B. So that's flatted. So we have E, G, B flat. We'll forget about the 7th for now because we just want minimal. You want to be able to play on that. So you have the root, the flat 3, and the 5th, and that's all you care about. Don't even go for the 7th. If you already know a flat 7, you can put it in there, but not necessary. You just want to play it depending on what level you're on. If you're on another level, you're okay with the 7th, and you can throw that in, and maybe you've already practiced a -7 flat 5. Now, don't get me wrong. I encourage you to learn as much as you can, and I will provide you that opportunity by exploring chord extensions, but it is involved. And I'd like to just give an introduction to some of the people that may have been intimidated when they see these chord symbols and they don't know what to do, and some may be compelled to just play a bunch of notes that don't make sense, and that really doesn't work. You might accidentally play something decent, but why not be informed? I'd like to move on now to the next aspect of chord extensions that you come across, maybe not right away, but it is sort of an advanced way to simplify understanding this. This is what an experienced musician with a lot of background would do. For instance, let's look at the C plus major 7. C augmented major 7. And that's quite a bit to think about right up front, but it's possible. You know, it's not that difficult to me with a bit of experience. But the way an experienced musician would break it down to make it more understandable is they would look at it like an E over a C note. This symbol right here is called slash notation, and what it actually means is this is an E major triad over a C note. E triad slash C. Now let me show you on a piano what it looks like and what it sounds like. Let's take a look at the piano. We have an E slash C, which means E triad over C. So let's play the E triad first. 1, 3, 5. Do, mi, so. Think of it in the terms of solfege, and it sounds like this. You've heard that one before, I'm sure. Now we put the C underneath of it. And we'll play the whole thing. Now you can hear that suspenseful sound of the sharp 5. You know it's different. And that simplifies it. You see how simple that is. You see a C, you know what a C note is, and then you see an E major triad. You know what that is. But if you look at that chord symbol, a C with a plus, a bracket, MA, and 7, or an E slash over C. A lot easier to look at that. It's almost like a musical acronym, but not officially. That's my opinion. I wrote a song using this chord up here, the C7 sus flat 9 sharp 9 flat 13. I was playing with a very good jazz pianist, and he looked at it for a while and he goes, you know, that's a D flat major 7th over a C. Now, is that a lot? That's a hell of a lot easier to understand than C7 sus 4 flat 9 sharp 9 and flat 13. And he broke it down to that, and right away he could understand it. That's part of this whole extended chord experience, is to be able to understand it quickly. And that's why I'm breaking this down for the people that have not been exposed to this and don't know what to do. This may be an inspiration to learn more about extended chord theory, and also a prerequisite to understand the complexity of this and not to be afraid of it, but to embrace it and learn it, because it is a very worthy endeavor. So we are in the age of bass players playing solo ideas, and everybody's looking for different sounds, and this is a perfect way to get your different sound. So I'm going to wrap this one up, and I'm going to show you a song that I composed called The Major, and I used that complex chord. I was talking about the C7 sus 4 flat 9 sharp 9 and flat 13th. I'm just going to play a short clip of it to close up. I'll put a link in the video description if you want to hear the whole thing. And I thank you for stopping by. If you like my videos, please subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified. Like and comment. And I hope to see you again. Thank you very much.